Hey guys, it's Damn It Gabby on another episode of Insert Cartridge here. Today we do not have Anya. She's busy on a date. You know, a lovely love matching date. But today I do have a guest, and here he is.
Hello.
Introduce yourself.
I'll introduce myself.
Yes, please.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Kobe Nito. Kobe combined with Magneto, which makes me the ultimate.
Sandwich.
I guess so. Ultimate sandwich. I guess you could say ultimate bad guy, but the ultimate. So.
Well, that's cool. That's a nice name.
I think so. Yes. Kobe Nito, the ultimate.
It reminds me of a sandwich, but you know, whatever. A killer sandwich.
A killer sandwich.
Literally.
Better than X-Men Apocalypse, that's for sure.
It wasn't that bad. I'm gonna get shot for that. But it wasn't that bad. I didn't think, you know what, I'll take it back. I'll give it a 7. No, a 6.5, whatever.
I give it a 4.3.
Well, you're like a mega fan, so that's why.
I am. And then they had Jubilee, and she only said 2 words the entire film, so it was whack.
Yeah, but
anyway.
That one dude didn't even look like himself.
None of the Apocalypse.
No, I had to literally ask someone else and be like, who the hell is that? And then they're like, that's Apocalypse, and he doesn't even look like himself.
He does not look like Apocalypse. He looked like, I don't even know what he looked like, which is kind of sucks because, you know, Thanos looked like Thanos, but, you know. Anyway,
yeah,
we can talk about this forever.
All right.
So, yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me on Insert Cartridge here, which, you know, I love the name. I really do, because it has kind of like an old school feel. And then it can be like a dirty thing too, but it's kind of still fun.
Yeah, like you blow into the cartridge.
Yeah, I miss cartridges. Yeah, blow me. You know,
freaking t-shirt.
Or insert your cartridge here. You know.
It's a good name. I just have a hard time getting it all out at once. Fast.
That's what she said.
Oh shit.
Sorry.
Oh shit.
That was funny though.
All right.
Okay.
So, all right. So today's topic is, since we are completely different, you know, in age.
This is true.
We were born in different generations.
Mature.
Yes, you are.
I'm not like old or anything, but I am an 80s baby.
Wait a minute.
So
I'm an 80s baby.
No, I'm more of an 80s baby. Like, I went through the entire 80s. You were born in, like, what, 88? Yeah, so you're not an 80s baby.
Fine, I'm a 90s baby.
Yeah, so we're definitely different generations, which is part of the reason why I write for Dusty Cartridges, because I remember Dusty Cartridges. Cartridges with an S, not just regular cartridge. And, you know, that was kind of like a fun time. That was a new time for a lot of us because we've never seen these things before. We weren't really used to it. You know, like my generation, or I guess the generation before me, as far as when it came with video games, we had Pong, you know.
I remember that.
Poop, poop. Yeah, that whole thing. So that was exciting because you got to do something different on TV. And, you know, this was a time when there were TVs that were just black and white. Mm-hmm. And if you had color TVs, you were like, you know, rich and stuff. So I was like, I was born at a time, I was really young, but I remember basically the old Ataris, the Atari 2600, the 5200, and then the 7800. Well, see, the Atari 2600 was really 8-bit basic, kind of like, you know, we had pole position, you know.
See, I don't remember. I didn't get to see any of that. But my mom told me about it.
Yeah. So. See, but that was like I said, that was a classic time because, you know, back then people actually played with their toys. So, you know, you had like your He-Man toys. You had your Transformer toys. And, you know, for the video games to come along, it was like, oh, this is something different. This is an actual stick with a button, you know, so you get like in between your thumb and your forefinger right here with the stick, you can get like, you know,
perfect grip.
Kind of rough. Yeah, there you go.
It's a perfect grip.
You get a perfect grip. So I don't know. I mean, it was when you look at today's gaming, you really can't compare it to back in the day. There's a lot of like purists and people who really can, just love the old school gaming, but and I'm kind of one of them. That's why, like, for Dusty Cartridges, dustycartridges.com is really, I enjoy it because it's a place where people like myself and people like you can kind of, the different generation of gaming can really just come together, talk games, and really just be a part of like this larger community. And it's really just trying to make it more inclusive because, I am an African American man from Baltimore, Maryland, with you being what you are, with whatever you're a Hispanic woman from Queens.
New
Look
York.
at that. Yes, from New York.
Killer Queens.
From Killer Queens. And, we have, Asian people on our team. We have, Caucasians on our team. I don't know, should I call them Caucasians or white folks? I don't know. But either way, we have the whole spectrum, and I think that's what gaming should really be about. There's a lot of other organizations, which I'm not going to name their names, which are very, they're not too all-inclusive, I think. So that's why I like kind of like Dusty Cartridges. And for me, that kind of has that same feel when I was growing up with being with the arcades, because there was a time when people went to arcades,
I remember going when I was little, but then it got like closed down because no one was going.
Right, and the home consoles kind of killed that, but there was still, like, even if you had an Atari, you were still going to the arcade to play, the latest whatever, like whether it was Pac-Man or, things like that. And so, and then when you're at an arcade, everyone's there. Everyone's just there with watching games, playing games, people betting on games, things like that. And that, that was kind of fun. That was a lot of fun. And that's the time I remember. God, I sound old, but that was like where we were then compared to where we are now, where, people put on some headsets and you can, be playing against a guy in Spain and he's, kicking your ass in freaking Call of Duty or something. But, it's not, when the guy kicking your ass in the game is sitting like in your living room,
it's different. Yeah,
right.
It's a nice battle there.
Yeah,
but I feel like it's better for, like, you got the opportunity to enjoy the growth, and you got to see like how much it changed. Mm-hmm. Like, I was born and then I just got like PS1 and then like Nintendo 64, and I got to like experience all that, but I didn't really get this like the nitty gritty or like those terrible games that have been like blacklisted for life, like E.T., like for Atari and stuff like that. So like
E.T. was actually fun to me, but it was weird, but it was still kind of cool because it was E.T. And it's just like, it was a movie that, to see a movie go into a video game, that, once again, that's something we've never seen before. So it was kind of like, holy crap, like, this is,
it's happening.
This is cool, yeah. And then, and even movie experiences back then was different. And then, it sounds like I'm talking about, back in the 50s. No, this is the 80s, this is the 80s. So it was a time of change, a time of self-expression, you know what I mean? And I was a kid, but, I remember all these things because, like I said, like, if I could see E.T. on the screen and then I could see it on a video game, it's like, okay, that's crazy. You had the games like Frogger or something. We had, there was this other game, when Donkey Kong came, later with the NES system, Mario, then the Mario Brothers showed up and all of these games, and it was like, it was really a time of like, yes, things are getting better, but for us, we didn't know
the better yet.
Right. Like
ultimate.
For us, right then and there, this was the best. The original Legend of Zelda, with Link was the best.
But I feel like you had like the genuine mind-blowing experience with everything that came out.
Yeah.
Like with us, it's just like, okay, another game. Or like we'll notice, like, not everyone noticed how like certain graphics get better or whatever, but with you, it was like, holy shit.
Right.
Like this new friggin' game came out, like it just got better for you.
I know for me, I had a Nintendo NES system. We blew the cartridge, I had to blow the cartridges, but we had certain games where, like my neighborhood would come together. We'd play, a double dribble or Tecmo Bowl, things like that. And then later, like you had the Sega. Let me see if I can get it right. The original Sega, not the Genesis. But before the Genesis, there was a Sega Master System. Sega had what's called a Master System. It was cartridge, of course, cartridge system. It was like burgundy and black or whatever. And they had games on it, like they had, They had Choplift. They had Pro Wrestling game, which is what I that was my favorite game because they had like a pro wrestling. So it wasn't like a WWE game or anything, or a WWF back then. It was just like just pro wrestling.
Like a generic.
Yeah, it was very generic, and it was hard as hell, but it was still cool. But they had oh gosh, what was the other game on there? It was another game that was pretty cool, but the Sega Master System didn't last too long.
Yeah, I don't even remember it.
Yeah, it didn't.
Like I had Sega. But.
Yeah, it didn't do too well, but purists still remember that system. I would think they still remember it. I hope I'm not the only one, but but like even when Sega Genesis came, and then they had Altered Beast, and for me Altered Beast was like the ultimate. Do you remember Altered Beast?
No.
Really?
No.
You remember Rise from Your Grave?
No, I don't.
Gosh. So Altered Beast was basically, it was like Sega's games where they had Altered Beast. They had Sonic, which was kind of like Sega's answer to Mario. Not that he mimicked him. It was just kind of like a character that they could put out that people would kind of really...
To draw him in.
Yeah. And Sonic, what Sega did... I guess I'm jumping a little bit ahead here, but I guess what the Sega Genesis did at the time too, whereas Nintendo sales were kind of like stalling out, and what happened was Sega basically was giving a lot of like celebrities games. So you had Pat Riley basketball. Pat Riley's the coach of the Lakers. Mm-hmm. You probably know that. Okay, so you had Pat Riley's basketball.
I believe you.
You had Joe Montana football. Joe Montana, legendary quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers.
I believe you.
You had Buster Douglas boxing.
Absolutely.
Buster Douglas is the first guy to beat Mike Tyson. And then you had like Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, which was...
What?
You remember you never played Moonwalker?
No, it sounds ridiculous though.
No, you know what? It was... Oh, gosh.
What was the point of the game? To moonwalk?
No. Well, it was...
Did it have the zombies?
No. Okay.
What the hell?
No. All right. Michael Jackson, he had this video. Remember Smooth Criminal?
Yeah.
Annie, are you okay? So they had, but they, this is back when Michael would come with like whole videos of like, they were like movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
and they put them on TV. Right. Huge storylines. So basically he had a video game which was the same. Like, he had to save the kids.
Oh
so in
God.
Moonwalker, you save the kids from these guys in the blue suits or whatever, black suits, and they had their hats on. And then his ultimate power was like the dance. You go like, ow, and then they do the dance.
Shit.
Holy crap! See, you guys miss so much, man.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like we don't get that.
I want to say the first PS1 came, and that took off. But I'm trying to think, what was the game that really pushed it over?
For PS1 or for Dreamcast?
For PS1.
I got PS1 with Crash.
Bandicoot?
Yeah.
And I know I used to always play...
Splinter
Cell?
Yeah.
No.
No. Metal Gear, no.
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, that's what the little,
I used to play.
That little weird... That's what I played.
I played Metal Gear Solid because I love Psycho Mantis. And Psycho Mantis was the coolest character ever to me. And they had this bug in the game, I guess. It wasn't a bug, but it had basically Psycho Mantis. He could read your mind or whatever. So when you would battle Psycho Mantis, and then if you were like kind of go to like one side of the room or something, whatever, like he'd show up there, he'd get you, and he'd go, I can read your mind. And it was really because in the game, they had, I guess this, I don't know how to describe it, I guess like a matrix or something, I don't know what it was, but where the game kind of knew where you went and it would tell him, like the character.
You mean like where it would light up? Because I remember like I was terrible at the game, and that's why
I love that game. I love that game. I just love Psycho Mantis. But I feel like we're jumping all around. There's so much history in there, and I don't know if it should be. I don't know if we should even be linear. Doesn't matter, I guess.
It doesn't. We can jump.
But
we can jump.
We can jump. Okay. Well, fucking Metal Gear. Oh, excuse my language. But Metal Gear Solid was everything to me at that time with the PS1. I played it religiously.
I feel like it had to do with your age, though, that you respected the game.
I did, because you got it, like you said, it comes from a time when, I remember just the one joystick and the handle. When the Nintendo NES came out and you had multiple buttons, it was like, holy crap, because if you had a ColecoVision with the joysticks, like with the Atari, you just had like the joystick with the one orange button that you would hold. You'd use like your left hand to hold the base and then your right hand to move the stick. ColecoVision came, they had the knob with kind of like the keypad.
It looks like a phone.
Yeah, it did have some type of James Bond kind of like phone. Yeah, it was pretty weird, but it worked. And then the thing is, I think you could use a joystick with it. You could use you could use basically a Atari style joystick with it. Mm-hmm. But I remember when I had it, it had the knob with the keypad. So that didn't work for me. But when Nintendo came, their joystick was just pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. You had the two buttons
and the D-pad
with the D-pad, and that was
life. A simple life.
Simple life. It was a simple life. So I mean, I do feel like I'm lucky enough to kind of see the growth, and kind of like look at where we are today. But it's also kind of like I wish I would have appreciated back then a little bit more.
Yeah.
I
mean, now that you're talking about it, I didn't get that, so I didn't respect the game at all.
Right.
I was just like, all right, I got the game, I'll try it for a little bit, and I didn't realize that, like a spoiled brat, like I was given something that was already like somewhat mastered.
Right.
And I didn't know where it came from, so I was just like, all right, thanks, but another game, give me another game.
Well, no, for me, at least in my situation growing up, we used to trade games. So if you had a game, a certain game. No one wanted
to trade for me.
Yeah, no, we used to trade like cartridges. So, okay, I finished Centipede or whatever. So here, you have Centipede and you give me Joust.
Oh, wow.
Right. And I know I just named two games that you've never even heard of before. But, like if you played Defender or, what I mean, or Burger Time or stuff like that, like those were like really cool games, And so it was 8-bit gaming, at its finest. And for most, like I said, for people my age or, then and now, we hadn't seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
So like it was funny that you even, that we're even talking about this, because the other day I was looking at The Division.
You love that game.
Tom Clancy's The Division. I love The Division. And there's, when you start the game, you start out, you're in Brooklyn. And, you're kind of going through. And for some reason this day, like I'm looking at it and like the detail is just blowing me away. Like it's just blowing me away. Like, I'm like, holy shit, this is the Manhattan Bridge right here. Like, it looks exactly like
I'm not going to lie, it blew me away.
Yeah,
it's like crystal clear pinpoint accuracy. Yeah. Like, they really did good.
They did an amazing job, and you go to the UN and all these places and you're like, this is crazy. Like, me growing up, I can never imagine that a video game would look this way. Like, ever.
It's beautiful now.
It is beautiful now. But then it's like, it does make you kind of long for the old school, It does.
I don't understand that. Like, I want to understand it, but I don't.
Well.
But what I do wish I experienced more was the arcade. Like how you were saying.
Yes.
Like how you went. Like, I don't get that. Like, I feel like I went once and I enjoyed it because I was playing video games, but I was still surrounded by people. So I didn't feel like a hermit crab just playing video games.
Yeah.
And it was fun because you have the competition right there and you have the shit talking right there. And it's just like, you have to compete and you have to make sure like you do your best or you're a chump. But
Right. I remember, I'll tell you a quick story. When Mortal Kombat dropped, Mortal Kombat was released, and my campus, the school I went to, which I will not tell you which school that is, but the school I went to, we got Mortal Kombat. And no one knew what it was. Because remember, Street Fighter came before Mortal Kombat. So everyone, Street Fighter, yes, fighting or whatever, but no one's seen anything like Mortal Kombat. So it was in the bookstore of this school. And, you go down to the bookstore, you buy your books, whatever. And they had some video games and stuff like that, some arcades. So one day, once people started slowly kind of discovering what Mortal Kombat was and how to play and things like that, like there would be lines out the door of people waiting to play this game. And we would have tournaments, where you would literally miss class because you were having a tournament to play this
That's
game.
awesome.
And it was Mortal Kombat, that original Mortal Kombat with the violence, with, Scorpion, Johnny Cage, Sub-Zero, Kano can rip your heart out. Scorpion burns you. And it was like, holy shit, like people are dying in a video game. Like we've never really seen
like
that
you just
before.
ripped his fucking heart out.
Right. And then they were screaming, oh, all this stuff, and the dude would pop his head in and toasty, that the whole thing. It was the coolest thing ever. And it was an arcade though, but you had people there where you can, play the game, see something new, something different, and talk smack, and and be like that guy. Who's this one guy who put in 1/4 and he's been on a game now for the last freaking half hour? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's this asshole? You know what I mean? But it was, but that was that thing. And you would get your quarters. Like, and for me, it was kind of like I would take my laundry money. I was like, okay, I got to do laundry, but I'm going to save, some quarters because I know I'm going to go to the arcade and I'm going to play this, whatever. And that was fun. It was a fun thing to do. Like where I'm from, we had this arcade where everyone would go out. We'd go out, we'd get, burgers, hot dogs, all this stuff, whatever.
Sounds amazing.
And we'd play, every new game there. I mean, we would play, from something as simple as like the old WWF game, which was awesome. It was so awesome, to playing like, I don't even know. Just name a game back then. Like the arcades that's just what the arcades was. Like Galaga.
I love Galaga.
I love Galaga. I still play Galaga to this day, and I play, I even play Pac-Man still, probably just for nostalgic reasons, but that was just kind of what it was. Even though, actually, honestly, I love Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man was better than Pac-Man, but, whatever. Miss Pac-Man was cool. I like Miss Pac-Man. But, it's gaming today, I guess if we want to kind of go and talk about what gaming is today, the only real problem I guess I would have is that the gaming community in itself, isn't as inviting as I think I would want it to be.
No, it doesn't sound like it at all.
And it's kind of like, like today, like I said, here I am, I'm a grown man, I can sit back and play, any type of online game you can think of or whatever. And then, I'm playing against some 12-year-old in freaking Kansas, and, he's just kicking my ass, which is fine, it's okay. But, the talk that goes with it now, like online, where I don't even cut on my headphones anymore, like if I'm doing that,
I feel like it's worse on Xbox than it is on PS4.
Well,
there's more kids on Xbox.
There's a lot of kids on Xbox. There are a lot of kids on Xbox. But I will say, when I played, I had one experience where I played, it was on PS4, and it was probably a Call of Duty, because I only play Call of Duty on PS4. And man, it was just vicious. I don't know why.
The actual game or the talk?
The talk was just, but probably because I was playing 3 a.m. I had been nice or whatever. And by nice meaning I had some beverages that were, whatever. But But no, and then I played. It was Gears of War, the
Yeah.
first Gears of War we played online. We had a real nice community there. Nice, everything was pretty cool. But then that kind of got out of hand. And there used to be this game called Fear. Do you remember Fear?
No.
Fear, the Fear. It was like F.E.A.R. I forgot. I have no idea what Fear stands for. I'm gonna have to like Google it or something. And it seems like everyone was drunk while they were playing that, and so that would kind of get
You
out
just
of
got
hand.
violent.
Yeah, it would be
Violent
like,
thoughts.
you're a motherfucker, blah, 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 blah. You can bleep that, I guess. But it was, it got kind of out of hand. But I loved Fear. In fact, thinking of that, like, they should bring back Fear. You remember this, Fear?
No, but I want to play
Oh,
it
shit,
because
yeah.
she looks like a crazy
First
bee.
Encounter Assault Recon. Fear. Yeah, it was really good. I played all the Fears. I love Fear. But anyway, yeah. So, yes, we have a new generation of games now. They're fun. They're exciting. They look amazing. Some of them look better than they play. But always respect the old school. I guess that's how I can only wrap that up.
Respect the old school.
You gotta respect the old school. It's what got us here. Most of the guys that are developing the games that we have now, most of those guys, if not all of those guys, have come from old school gaming. Look up anybody that you can think of, any developer over at, I don't know, Netherworld or NetherRealm, excuse me, or EA or wherever. They all were inspired by just old school gaming. And of course, like anything, when the technology changes, the gaming changes, the experience changes, and it just becomes, kind of a bigger thing. But like you, I do miss arcades, who knows? Maybe we could start a Dusty Cartridges arcade.
That'd be sick.
That would be sick.
It wouldn't be such a club, like a special boys club.
No, it'd be like an arcade with a lot of old arcades in there, and you can come play some old arcades.
Well, there
you
is
can
a
play
place,
pinball.
but you have to drink and you have to be 21.
Right. See, no, we don't want that.
No.
We want it all inclusive. No alcohol. Well,
Well,
no, yeah,
no.
Yeah, we need alcohol.
We need like a
A
beer or
little
two.
bit alcohol, yeah.
Well, another question.
Yes.
How were your feelings when online multiplaying came about? Like, what happened there? Because I know you probably blew the shit out of your mind.
It was a leap into the future, for lack of a better term. It was the coolest thing I'd probably, I thought, this shit is amazing. That's really what I thought. I'm not going to lie. I thought, holy crap, this is amazing. Because in the beginning, I would play, and I think the first time I played, it was, I want to say, it was on FIFA. It was a FIFA game. And I played, some kid was France. I was Brazil. Of course, he beat me 5-0, whatever. But here I am playing some kid sitting in his living room in France. I thought that was the most amazing thing. And he was a cool kid. He was really nice. And then, I would play Madden online. I kind of started with the sports games because the other games, I didn't know how they would translate. With a sports game, it's just a sports game.
Yeah,
so
you just play.
Yeah, you just play. But the other games, you can require some type of strategy and trying to,
So like Halo, you didn't try that one
Right,
yet?
we did.
Oh.
That's it. Halo. Because I know Xbox Live was a big thing. Xbox Live, I think, was probably, I don't think it was the first. It wasn't the first. It was the most popular. Xbox Live was very popular. But I don't
that's
think
what
it was
I
the
started
first.
with was Xbox Live.
Yeah. And we did play Halo. But I have to admit, I'm not the biggest Halo fan.
Neither am I. It made me nauseous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's because my brother was a troll and he would just spin in circles until I got sick.
Okay.
So it would suck there.
Yeah, so it was kind of not too big on Halo. But like I said, I did play a lot of Gears of War online. But just that experience in itself, which, with the internet and the whole, now gaming can go on the internet, that's always cool. But then there was a time when, if your internet sucked, Like you just wasn't, the gaming experience was gonna suck. It just wasn't gonna work. Because you would get lag times or it would freeze,
completely.
right, or drop, and then you'd end up, your game would drop or whatever, and then you end up getting a bad rating or something. You know what I mean? Because you didn't finish the game.
Or you got killed.
Right. Just something pretty whack. So now that internet speeds are better, I think the online gaming experience is better. Once again, The Division, or with like Star Wars Battlefront, like playing those games online, there's no glitch, there's no real delay, there's no real problems with it. So I think those have definitely gotten better. I mean, well,
Watch it drop in the middle of the game.
It could, but if you have a good system, you have a good Wi-Fi, you should be all right.
Let's see.
So, and that's another thing, like, gaming growing up from like when I was a kid to now, like it all kind of, as video games grew, then the computers grew. As the computers grew, then you have like, the internet and things like that. Like I used to, one of my first computers was like a Tandy something. You know what I mean? Like the computers you hook to your television, and you have to type in a code, a long as code just to make the thing smile. So
It's fucking crazy.
yeah, I am really dating myself. Goodness gracious, I'm not that old, guys. I'm really not that old, but it all grows. It all reaches a certain point. You know what I mean? Like maybe, who knows? This time in 10 years, we'll be talking about VR and how incredible that is, and playing games there. Like right now, that makes me nauseous. But
yeah, I can't play games like that.
Yeah.
Because I severely get nauseous, and then I'll take it off, and it lasts for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But it looks fun. I mean, I've watched other people play.
I played a game of Drift with the Oculus Rift, and I thought it was pretty cool. Because basically you're drifting around in space. You have to kind of go and get like oxygen and stuff like that. Of course I died because I couldn't really reach the oxygen and anything. So it was a little weird, but I'm not blown away by it. I'm not like, oh God, I gotta play this VR game, whatever,
I think if it becomes, when it does become a little bit more realistic, that's when.
See, but that might freak me out because then it's not a game anymore. You know what I mean?
That's where it's heading. I feel like that's where it's heading.
See, yeah.
Because the more we grow, like, we just want more, like, we just need it to be more realistic. We just keep, like, going in that direction.
True. See, we play video games to escape. We play video games to, like, it used to be a leisure. It used to be a hobby. It used to be,
Now it's life.
Right, now it's life, which is fine. Which is really fine. If it can be controlled, and if you do it in a way that is understood, if you realize it's not real life. I've played every version of Grand Theft Auto. Trust me, I have yet to carjack anyone,
or run
anyone over. I've thought about it, but I've never done it. Once you understand that you can separate these things and not let it take over your life, then I think it's fine. I
guess with that, it depends on the person.
It does depend on the person, but if you're a gamer, if you're like a real gamer, I think you understand that this is just that. It's a game. It's a part of your life. It can even, now you can get paid from playing video games. You can make a living from it, and it's not going anywhere. But once you kind of put it on this pedestal where like it's all there is, then I think you're kind of screwed right there.
That would suck.
It would suck. And unfortunately, like with kids these days, like when we were going back again, when you're growing up, most kids weren't sitting down playing video games for 5 hours. Like that just was not happening. But you all played outside, you played on sports teams. You did all of these things. It wasn't like I'm going to sit in my room all day and play video games because you weren't allowed to. These days, we have to be careful with kids because, if you let you put a video game in a kid's hands now, and they're going to sit there and play it like all day long. They just will not get up. They won't get any food. you know, like they're just gonna play, and that's kind of like it's good and that's bad, you know. It means they're enjoying it, which is good,
But they're not being social.
which is bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's next as far as gaming goes.
But that's the exciting part.
I think so. I think that's the exciting part. I think it's cool. I think as long as gaming stays gaming, people, you know, people just be cool about it. The community grows larger. You know, it becomes an all-inclusive community.
More accepting of different groups.
Yeah.
That'd be nice instead of like an all-boys club.
Yeah.
A popular all-boys
Which is
club.
why I'll have to say, I'll throw this in there. I'm very excited that you and Anya are doing this podcast. I love hearing you guys talk about playing video games, how you feel about the games, you know, and you're not just like, oh, I'm playing this game because my boyfriend played and blah, 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 blah. You know, some airhead crap. You know, like, and I'm sorry, no disrespect to airheads out there.
Yeah, you're
but,
somewhat okay.
Yeah, you know, but, you know, I like airheads from time to time. But, you know, I like the fact that, you know, there are women gamers, you know. That's where it should be. That's where we are, and I think, you know, we need to have them be a part of the community, and like that's why I enjoy hearing you guys. It's kind of like with cosplaying now. There was a time when cosplaying was just like really, really nerd, you know, small community looked down upon.
It was like Nerdvana.
It was Nerdvana. But now people do it, and they're regular people, but they enjoy it. You know, they enjoy dressing up. They enjoy being, you know, being accepted for
loving something.
Loving something that's not considered normal.
Yeah.
You know, like every year I go to Comic-Con, whether it's San Diego or New York, and I see people are so clever with their costumes, and there are characters that most people won't even know. Like there was this guy one time, and he dressed as this really absurd Zelda character, but it was his favorite character, and I thought, dude, that is the dopest thing I've ever seen, because, you know, that means you're really into it. You're not just dressing up like freaking Snake or
Link.
You know, or Link, right? You know what I mean?
He's like an actual like character.
Yeah,
in the game.
you know, and you're actually being a part of it, and I think that's cool as shit. And that's just kind of how I feel video games should be. Like, guys, if you play a game, you get your ass kicked by a girl.
Don't
so
cry.
what? Yeah,
Don't cry.
it happens. I know a girl who would destroy you in Super Smash Brothers. You know?
Oh yeah.
And she's
You told me about
gorgeous.
her.
Yes.
She's fucking brilliant.
And she's brilliant. So shout out to her. I'm not gonna say her name. She might not want a name on this thing, but she's fucking dope, and she knows who she is. I should actually let me clean that up. She's freaking dope, and she knows who she is. So anyway, that's where I want gaming to be. That's why I think people should come to DustyCartridges.com. Check us out. Give us a chance. Shameless plug. You know, we have now this cool podcast, Insert Cartridge here. These two young ladies. We're going to have new episodes of Gamer's Life coming with an additional host, you know. And we're actually thinking about doing a scripted show for DustyCartridges.com, which is going to be fun. So, yeah.
If you would see my face, you would be shocked and excited.
Yes.
That's
Shameless
exciting.
plug, you know, as they say. And I would give, like, the Mick Foley thumbs up. I'm rather excited to have been a part of this now. This is my first podcast. Thank you guys for inviting me to take part in the podcast.
You're welcome.
Maybe I'll come back, you know.
Giving us the history
Yes.
behind gaming,
Yes.
enriching my life.
And you know what? If people, you know, I would love to hear other people's stories, you know, about growing up, you know, with where video games were to where they are now. You know, I would love for you, like, there's a comment section on this thing, right? So just comment. Tell us how you feel about games then and now, you know?
Yes.
Tell us where you think games are going to go. You know, and if I got any of the history wrong, maybe it's because, you know...
Battle us. Tell us what you think.
Yes. You know, maybe my mind isn't there, or I don't know. But yes, tell us what you think. Let us know. Tell Gabby.
Yeah, tell me what you think. Like,
Yes.
subscribe, pass this on.
Exactly.
Just keep listening, because it's going to get better and better. And just remember, we are just chicks playing games and having fun.
I'm not a chick.
Well,
though,
you know,
but-
we're not going to always have chicks. It's going to be a
Yes.
chick plus someone else,
Yes.
plus dudes.
So I guess that's it. Should we wrap this up?
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Okay, wrap it up.
Shit. Oh my god. This is Anya's part, but she's not here, so thanks guys for listening in on another episode of Insert Cartridge here. Yeah, come back next week.
Who are you?
Damn it, Gabby.
Oh yes.
I'm Damn it, Gabby, as always.
And I'm Kobe Nito,
An awesome sandwich.
an awesome person
Yes.
with the power of nothing, but it's a cool name.
Oh,
Shouldn't-
yes.
Where can they check this out?
Check us out at dustycartridges.com.
Yes.
Follow us.
Cartridges with an S.
Yeah, don't go to the other one.
Yes. Don't go to the other
They
one.
suck.
They do suck. They should have turned it down by now, but they won't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, see ya, dudes.
Bye.